Hey, good morning. Hello. It's the 11th of Monday when I'm speaking. It's 8:35 in the morning here. I'm just getting going. I wanted to offer a word of support and encouragement as people are attempting to move back into working. The uneven and seemingly not well planned out attempt to normalize and go back to work is happening, and I'm concerned for people. So I just want to express in, support, concern, and encourage folks that have to go back to work or are trying to go back to work. Just be as safe as possible. I keep hearing the numbers and the reporting regarding the COVID, and it's not good. It's like we're up against the odds, attempting to keep the economy going, keep our lives going, while we're dealing with this really interesting and out of our control factor, this virus. So, happy Monday. I didn't go digging deep into my closets, but I know I have at least one of her records. Betty Wright, the cleanup woman, that was her biggest hit. But she did other good stuff. Betty Wright passed away. 90. We're at that age. Jerry Stiller, I'm not a TV person, so I'm mentioning it because he was that big. Stiller and Mara. I remember he and his wife. That's how old I am. Well, you guys are with me, you know. When we were kids, the comedy duo Stiller and Mara, way before Seinfeld, I had stopped watching TV when Seinfeld was on. I did not watch. So I couldn't tell you a damn thing about Seinfeld, nothing. But rest in peace, those people who have brought so much content to our lives. That's the thing that must be said about art, music, entertainment is the enrichment. What would life be like without art? I have to include sports. Sports is not art, but sports is an endeavor that's so important. I love participating in sports. I don't like watching sports. I know it plays an important part in the social fabric, so I won't diss it, but art and music are extremely important. And so when we lose these people, we feel it deeply. So rest in peace, the latest folks to go, Betty Wright and Jerry Stiller. Some records that are sitting out because I have been spending, I'm just really letting this set in with me. What's going on? This is not going away. Things have changed. And so I'm really getting okay with just sitting around and going out and sitting out in the front yard like an old man, like I am. And just sitting and watching the birds. I've noticed some beautiful red cardinals in my neighborhood, and robins are everywhere. But it really stands out when the blue jays come around. Little things like that just mean a lot more now. I'll show some records, but also I'm noticing interactions with people. Some interactions are being beneficial, and many are much more edgy now. People are real edgy, and so I'm actually thinking of reducing my social networking time for a little bit, just to watch how that goes. Every now and then I will post an opinion rather than music, and it's interesting how when I post an opinion now, the reaction can get really crazy. Look for that. Serena, Maneesh, do you know this band? There's a connection to My Bloody Valentine in the sound. I really like this. I think they take it actually in a direction of their own. Really like this. played this last night. Red Buddha, Stomu Yamashta. This is basically a solo percussion piece. It's related to Talam. Talam, if you happen to see this, you actually, listening to your latest Gowanus, inspired this. Deep listening, the idea of deep listening. Just the idea that there's things that I don't remember the last time I played this, and I don't remember what I heard. And so this time it was like, well, let me really pay attention to this. It's beautiful. It seems like it's abstract at first, and then you pick up the thread. Red Buddha, really cool. Really cool. A couple more things. Pacific, a band I don't know much about, but they had some singles out on Creation. This is one of them. Shrift. I picked them up because I like that. I like those pictures. I just like that graphic. And I was able to get these, on sale. I can see where they didn't go anywhere. They're, kind of nondescript, really, but it's kind of cool. The backing tracks are cool. German Oak. At times there's been controversy because of the helmet on the cover. People thinking that there was some sort of Nazi connection, which there isn't. This is an old stoner jam record that was made in the 70s, 72. And it just has that essence. This was a good day. Whenever this was made, this was a good day. These guys jammed good. German Oak. It is worth looking up. Stupid people and their snap judgments. And you see, stupid people really make the world dangerous. That's not a nice thing to say, but it's fucking true. Wilkinson Tri-Cycle. Kind of a blues rock band from I think the end of the 60s. The blues rock on here is crap. There's a couple of quiet songs on here. David's Rush makes it worth it. But this goes back to the era when, as far as I was concerned, anytime the young guys like this would try to play the blues, it was like, just stop. Just fucking stop. Here's a album, a great example of one of my favorites and the music that I totally love. This is Dereck, Soft Machine. Soft Machine music is Dereck. Soft Machine 7 is a great example of what I love. It's got the jamming tracks, and then it's got the modal tracks. I think that's the right word. The ostinato tracks where things repeat and build. Then it has the super quiet, beautiful tracks. Carol Ann on here is just gorgeous. That's a perfect example of my kind of tune where it's only 3 minutes, but I just take the needle and play it again because it's so beautiful and chill. Just makes everything good. That's my favorite kind of music, and Soft Machine is one of the tops. This was a difficult listen, and I decided to play it all the way and go through it with the idea of deep listening, which is, okay, this is Area, the Italian band, and the album is Maledetti. Their singer, who's passed away, Demetrio Stratos, was like Leon Thomas, had a very acrobatic voice. But it was unsettling at times, and he would use it like almost like a weapon at times, and so it's like you're assaulted with the sound. And you're not necessarily knowing what it's all about. There'd be times like I'd be almost ready to take the needle off, and I'd say, no, go through it. I'm glad I did, because then it would get to these passages of music which are just incredible. The other abstract areas where we're being confronted, it's what it sounds like. We're being confronted with the sound of his voice and this music, this sound. So this was a wonderful experience yesterday. And that's what I want to say about music is it's a beautiful experience. It is. It's a beautiful experience. I hope everyone's going to be all right. But I can just tell, and I'm going to say this, and I hope it gets back to them. The local high powered AM radio station, KFAB, is a cesspool of bigotry and racism and has been since I was a childhood. I will call them out. Scott Voorhees, Gary Saddlemeyer. These guys, they suck on the ass of Rush Limbaugh and Fox News, and I caught them this morning actually fomenting anti-Chinese sentiment, racism against China. This is, to me, unconscionable. Regardless of what's happened here, the answer is not to place blame and try, like the idiots in Missouri, how in the hell are you going to sue another country, for fuck's sake? And then I hope I'm not foolish enough to fall for this. In the past, we've been foolish enough and dumb enough to allow ourselves to be driven to death in war to save the rich man's economy. And they were going to try to pull that off again now. Send us off to war to save the economy. It's not to save the economy. If you notice what keeps happening here with all this money that the government's been giving out, it's being abused. It's being sucked up by the rich people who don't need it. It's being diverted. It's the same thing. It's our demise. Greed. I've been saying this for years. Greed is the problem. And I sure hope that we're not dumb enough to fall for going to war to save Daddy Warbucks, because they don't deserve it. This is a crazy time to me. And it's not being handled well at all, especially here in America. So stay strong, people. Stay in touch. Do what works. Stay well. Stay well.